Hey guys, how's everybody doing tonight? I wanted to come on just a few minutes early and make sure my connection was good, make sure y'all could hear me good. Nada, I think you just got in here. Is everything sounding okay? I don't know if anybody else is still here or if they was coming back in a few minutes, but I'm trying to see if everything's sounding good. Good. Thank you, Tina. So, everybody, welcome in. Duke should be joining us in just a little bit. He's going to come in just a little bit to finish up telling us the story of Belle Guys. I forget the name. The serial killer woman from the late 1800s that he was talking about the other night, Tuesday night. He's going to come back up here. He's going to come up in a little bit and finish telling us about how they caught her and what all happened. In the meantime, guys, what is y'all's weather looking like? What's y'all's weather gonna be looking like? Are y'all gonna be part of the ice storm, the snowstorm, or just the rainy part? I believe we are just going. I am just south enough. I think I'm going to miss most, if not all, of the ice unless something shifts just a little bit. But cold, a lot of snow. Yeah, a lot of snow coming Sunday. Yet Sunday's when everything's gonna hit. And so far it's saying that we have like 89% rain with the high of like 28. I don't know how. Hey, at right. I don't know how we're gonna miss the ice, but we'll see. Unless it's just not gonna, the rain's not gonna last that long, but they say it's gonna last all day Sunday, and be, freezing. So I'm not sure. Welcome in everybody, Lady R, just me, Agra, Tina, Nada. I see everybody coming in. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Talking about this weather for just a minute, doing sound bites, making sure my sound is good, making sure my internet's going to stay up. I'm holding my mouth just right. Oh, yeah, y'all are going to get it a little bit earlier because, yeah, it's going to hit us a few days after it gets y'all. Dixie, I'm not sure if you're a panda or a bitch bear mafia. I haven't decided on you yet. I sure do see you over in Boober's chat a lot, so um I don't know who you are, but welcome in. My mods, they kinda picky, so just letting you know. But you're more than welcome in here as long as your intentions are, Dixie personally knows Mooch or Moochie claims. Well, we'll see. We'll see what's going on. Other than that, guys, anyways. So do you guys remember there was a case that happened in California and it was called Cabin 38 or Cabin 8? What was that? It was Cabin, anyways. It happened where the lady and one of her sons and two of his friends, anyways, they all, somebody come in and killed them, left the kids alive, and then they found her youngest daughter like months later. Hey, Lisa. Um, like, like I forget how far away it was, but they had found her and confirmed that it was the youngest daughter. Name one child in this chat of anyone's, and you got me. Yes, absolutely. 100%. Um, as a matter of fact, you'll be blocked. Anyways, and the oldest daughter was spending the night at a friend, and she came in and found her mom, her brother, and his friend all dead. Like, I think they had been strangled and uh, cut and stabbed. Anyways, that was a weird case. That right ain't having none of y'all shit tonight. Neither is Lady R. I don't believe that's who said the names. I just know they were over there, but somebody was wanting to block that person from over there or time them out or something. One of their regular mods, so I haven't quite figured out Dixie yet, but um, yeah, I don't believe she was the one that did it, but I wasn't watching the chat last night, so yeah, right. If she was one of them that done it, by all means, you are absolutely, you know what to do. That was Roach and Intolerant naming someone's families in chat last night. Hey, Connie. Be right back. One spot to carpet shampoo because I'm dirty bird. From the SS I've been seeing, it was dipshit, roach, and intolerant so far. Yes, on Beavers. Snow Angel wants to block me. That's it. I knew one of them over there wanted to block you. They got itchy fingers for you for some reason over there, Dixie. I don't know. I feel the same way. When I went up there, Connie, and tried to go up on his panel that one night. And he was like, "She can stay back there." I thought, well, hell, I ain't got to be here at all. See you, bitch. And yeah. Anyways, so that case always kind of bothered me because they said that they thought it was like the one of the boys' uncles or some shit that done it. One of him and one of his friends, but everybody's dead, except for like very few handful of them. It's just stuff that goes unsolved makes my brain itch. Like the West Memphis, I want to know before I leave this earth who really unalived them boys. I asked who the fuck she thought she was. We ask them all the time over there who the hell they think they are, talking all their shit, but all we get in return is called names and doxed and every damn thing else. He's got a lot of interesting cases like that too. Like he digs into stuff like that. Yeah, I had never heard of that case either. So hopefully he'll be joining us here in just a little bit and can finish it up for us. There was another one. Do y'all remember I think it was the Yuba 5? It was in California where it was, I think, anyways, all five of them were kind of mentally challenged, and they went to a basketball game, and then they stopped at a gas station on the way home, and then they, for some reason, took this off the beaten track road, and they found them like months later, like frozen to death, all but one of them, and it was a weird case. because nobody knows what happened to them, and nobody ever found the one guy that was actually a schizophrenic. So, Dixie, that's how we find out if somebody's trolling, if it's a pretty new account. Um, we just try to make sure that you're not just in here to troll. Do you remember that case, Nada? The Cuban Five? That was, anyways, yeah. So that's always interesting too. And the same thing happened to those Russians that went skiing, and I forgot what year that was. It was early on too. It's been a long time back, and they were skiing in Russia, and they said that they found their like clothes scattered everywhere and body parts up in trees and different things like that. But what was weird about that case is when they found the tent had been cut from the inside out, not like from the outside in. Like they had cut their way out of the tent instead of somebody like cutting their way in the tent. And then it was like whoever, whatever it was, like got all of them. So I can't pronounce the name of that place in Russia that they named that one, but so yeah, that was a weird case too. So one is still alive from the cabin. Yeah, the oldest daughter, the daughter that found her mom and brother and his friend, um she is still alive. She did some kind of little interview. It's been several years ago, and they have like a plaque uh in honor of the mother, the brother, and the little sister that they found, which was weird because it's almost like they came in to kidnap the little sister, killed all of them, left the two or three boys that were in the bed asleep, like the young ones, like 6, 7 years old, left them alive. And then the 13-year-old, she was missing for like a really long time. And then they found her remains like, yeah, a year later or something like that. I'd have to pull it back up to give you the exact time. But that's yeah, that one you remember, yeah. Hey, Mama Bear. Anybody wanna I gave y'all a link if y'all wanted to come up for a little while. We're just waiting on Duke. I think they're a bit hurt because our investigative work is better than theirs, and even though they said it wasn't a secret, they mad from our correctness. Could be, Connie, could be. They got them good and smart people over there, good investigators, and I think there's one investigator that might be trying to stay hidden, but that's all right. Everything shall come to the light all in due time. You know what I mean? Like it's all gonna shine bright one of these days. But anyways, yeah, I like those cases like that. But I still want to know the answer. Like I dig into them because they're so odd. But then you get aggravated because there's no answer. There's it leaves you with more questions. Oh, it was called the Ketty murders. And yeah, the daughter's 35-year fight to justice. And they still don't know who did that. Like, it's crazy. Crazy, crazy. I was trying to see what year that happened. 1979. So, I just think with all the technology we have now, though, it's hard for people to get away with stuff like that, I mean, look at Brian Kohlberger, how they caught him and different things like that. You know what I mean? Mama Bear, did you get that kitchen painted? You can't wear your heart on your sleeve over here, Dixie. This bunch is rough. They give you a run for your money. Yes, I know DNA. DNA. See, they didn't have DNA in 1979. They fingerprints, and stuff like that. But I mean, they had DNA, but they didn't know how to test it. And they also have children. How would it make you feel intolerant if your children and grandchildren's name and location hits the streets? What action would you take? Don't think for a second. I'll go one step less. For mine, let's see. Oh Lord, y'all tearing chat up. For mine, and patient, and I'm a patient bitch. Y'all can take Joseph out. That's a troll. Ladies, we will have people from Duke's here too this evening. Yes, we should have a few in here. What cases do y'all leave y'all scratching y'all's head? What do you mean, son? Yeah, y'all can block her. I time her out. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you got two dicks between your legs. You don't scare me. Y'all can time her or block her. I don't care. Dixie didn't do anything. I'll leave that up to y'all. Whatever down there. You mods can discuss it. But that one is still on the table. John Bonet, yes. Yes. I I believe that came from boy that's I don't know. Duke said he'd be here in about 5 minutes, guys. Give him just a second. Don't block someone even if they are a troll. Yeah, you can just time them out. You don't have to block them. Just time them. Give them a little time out. Just give them a little spanking if they need it. Claims she heard about true crime community coming straight here to us. It's a boober. This is not. I've never said I was a true crime channel. Good Lord, we've hardly ever talked about true crime over here. We usually raising Cain and bitching about something over here. We don't usually talk true crime. Yeah, trolls do help the algorithms. I think they didn't block you already. In my opinion, wait till they do something wrong or say something wrong then. And yes, Mafia, you was in their chat the other night. Yes, which is fine. What they fail to realize is this little old channel of Susie Keys don't show up in just anyone's algorithms. That's not how it works. Now, how do you know that, right? I got me a whole 81 subs. Hey, if y'all not subs, sub up, sub up. Maybe we'll get to that 100 mark here, maybe by the end of the month. Maybe I hit 100. That'd be great. I'd be excited to have 100 subs. I'll be thinking, I'll be walking around. Y'all won't be able. Y'all won't be able to touch me. I'll be thinking I'm some kind of queen or something if I had 100 subs. I'm already got the big head with my 81 subs. What y'all talking about? Either way, we all come together from joy of going over true crime, but asswipes like Boob and Pandrew and the witches who just want to cause trouble and stop us from talking about a certain case. Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. You'll figure it out. You'll figure figure it out, Dixie. Hey, small town girl, what's going on? What is going on tonight? We talking about the weather. We talking about old cases. We're waiting on my friend Duke to get up here and finish up his case. Well, before you know it, one day, Dixie, you'll be taking links and going up on panels and talking. I stayed in chats for a long time too, and I learned how to take a link and go on panel and talk to the creators. And here it is, a few years later, and I got my own little channel going. You don't never know. You don't never know. Hey, Crystal, how's it going tonight, hon? Sorry, sending a message, y'all. No, it would be weird for him to be that those things, but I mean, it's happened, you know. Sorry about that. I don't know why my mic got froze up like it did. Telling you, my internet, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. I'll tell you another one too, Madeline McCain. Like, what happened to Madeline McCain, y'all? Like, I know that happened in Portugal and stuff, but that's another case. Oh, Lord. Well, come on, Duke. We waiting to hear your story now. My ladies is all tuned up, and maybe one gentleman in here. We're not sure if Dixie is. She could be like Tina Painter, you know. She's just, they just hear. They just hear. Today, y'all, I had to go to work. I've been so tired. I was trying to get me a little nap in earlier. Okay, Duke's on his way. Yay! Let me turn my camera on for when Duke gets up here. I'll turn my camera on a little bit. Look at me all up in my nightgown and stuff. Doesn't make sense. Our cult leader pisses rainbows like rainbows is a must. Yes, we piss rainbows over here. We piss rainbows. We piss vinegar. We piss a lot of stuff. We piss people off. Ain't no telling. It's like a box of chocolate over here. You never know what you're going to get. Taste the rainbows, baby. Life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. Child, I'm rolling with it tonight. Shower, hair in a ponytail, and a nighty night. And I got my moo on. I can be. Please don't forget. Yeah, y'all hit the like button or the down button. It don't matter. Whichever. Duke, get on up here now so we can get this show on the road. Get this mystery solved. What is going on with the numbers? What you mean, number 5? I done missed something. Hey, it's the weekend. Good to see you, honey. And, and here comes Duke. He is finally entering. We can get him back here now.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
What's going on,
Okay.
Duke?
All right, good. Not a whole bunch.
I can hear you.
I'm fresh. I'm freshly
Can
shorn.
you hear me?
As you can see. Yeah. Yeah. I'm freshly shaved because my wife and your coworker insisted that I shave before I get on camera. So
Good.
just for you,
good.
Suzette.
They've been waiting. They've been waiting to hear.
Dude, where's your video?
I'm trying to get you on panel, but I don't know why you're not coming up here.
Am I not?
I don't know.
Okay. More.
What's going on?
I do not know. I'm getting the monitoring signal.
Let me add you to the stage again. Let me do one time.
3 buttons.
Yeah.
Why am I not seeing you?
On.
Uh,
I hate that you can hear me.
my camera's work. My camera is on.
I see you back here, and you should be up here on my. I see you, but I know you're not up on my panel. Can y'all hear Duke? Do y'all hear Duke?
How does it work?
I don't know. I'm gonna just do it on my phone.
Give us
Hold on.
the one in chat
It should work.
if y'all can hear Duke.
Uh-oh. What'd I do?
I don't know. I'm just gonna do it on the
Because
phone.
I am not knowing what's going on.
I'm gonna, Suzette. I'm gonna sign out and sign back in. Can you sign me out?
Okay.
And you sign me out.
Isn't that you?
Yep.
Oh.
I don't know what the problem is.
Let me see if you're on. Hold on.
Okay, I think I'm gonna
Can you
try
guys hear
signing
me?
out.
Hold on.
I can hear you.
God, I hate that we share the same YouTube.
All right, then I won't use it anymore.
They can hear you. I don't know why you're not up on my stage, but they can hear you.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, well if they can hear me, that's good enough. Who wants to look at my ugly mug?
Let me see. I'm scared to touch anything.
What are you doing?
Let's see.
I'm just playing. I'm just trying to see if your video.
It's not on my end.
Go ahead.
Okay, well, I'm just going to dive in. So, just to recap a little bit, because there are a lot of details. Belle Guinness,
Joy, it
born
might
in
be
Norway.
my internet. Okay.
She was born in Norway in 1859. Worked from the age of 14. She worked on farms, which made her big and strong. I want to reiterate, she was taller than most men. She was over 6 feet tall and muscular from all those years of farm work. Comes to America, saves up from the age of 14 to 21.
There you are. I got you now.
Okay. So from the age of 14 to 21, she works on the farm. She saves up all her money and she goes to America. She makes her way to Chicago, where her sister has been living for 10 years. She starts off as a domestic, just being a maid for hire. Meets another Norwegian man, and they open a candy store, which, of course, burns down. She collects the insurance on it. And the next day, wouldn't you know, her house burns down 1 day later. A few months after that, her husband goes to Chicago with some horse traders, never comes back. And the two children that they have together, she was apparently barren. She could not have her own children, so she had a habit of adopting foster kids. Husband goes to Chicago, never comes back. And the two kids die of the exact same thing, some sort of intestinal flu. And of course, there was an insurance policy. So she's just making out like a bandit. Nobody suspects anything, apparently. I don't know. So she takes the money and she beats it to LaPorte, Wisconsin, a pretty remote little farming town. Buys a farm, a hog farm specifically, and begins placing ads in what they used to call Lonely Hearts. Basically advertisements, looking for love, pen pals, maybe love. So she specifically puts them in Norwegian language newspapers. So she's getting a lot of offers. She puts in the newspapers. I'm a sturdy, level-headed, single woman. I own a beautiful farm. I can't do all the work myself, and I don't want to be alone. If you're a man with a strong back and a good heart, uh, let's get married, and you can just walk into this beautiful farm and a family life, and it'll be great. So she's corresponding consecutively with several of these men, and the letters are all the same. The letters which they found later on all say the same thing. I'm already in love with you. Sell everything you have, withdraw all the money from the bank in cash, sew it inside your clothes and a money belt, hide it in your stuff, and come marry me, and we'll live on the farm together. Now, the first guy to do this after she got to LaPorte was a guy named Mads, and I'm not even going to try and say his last name because it's Norwegian and it's about 15 letters long and most of them consonants. But Mads
It's
comes
not
to the farm.
pronounceable.
Oh my God. And it's got the thing with the O's with the strike through it, and then the umlauts over everything. So Mads comes to her farm, and life's pretty good for a little while. He's working on the farm. He enjoys being a dad to the kids. Him and Belle, I guess, get along fine. And then after about a year of this, he reaches for something on a very tall shelf, and a sausage grinder falls off the shelf, caves his head in, stone dead on the spot. What I'm thinking is, if Belle must have done it, because Belle could have, she's over 6 feet tall. She could have helped him out.
Yeah, she's huge.
Yeah. I'm just making a morbid joke, but so the coroner says, obviously, main cause of death, you got your head bashed in by this huge metal object, but he also finds traces of poison in him. So he could have been poisoned enough that even if the meat grinder didn't fall on his head, he might have died anyway. I don't know why nothing more is ever made of this, but he makes his findings known. Nothing really happens. This goes on for I think about 5 years. Very frequently, guys show up to the farm, and then they aren't there anymore. And then another one comes, and he's not there anymore. All through this, she has the 3 adopted children, but they're so young they wouldn't be of any help in an investigation. They don't understand what's going on. So finally, the brother of Mads, the first husband, he hasn't heard from his brother in a long time. So he writes her. She doesn't respond. So he actually travels to LaPorte, Wisconsin, and demands to know what happened. And she gives him the story. He went to Chicago with some horse traders and never came back. He doesn't believe any of this shit, but he's got no proof. The cops are no help. He makes a vow to find out what's going on, but fortunately he has to go home for the time being. But he's making a lot of noise, and he's making a lot of problems for people. People are starting to talk. People are starting to ask about like who she was back in Chicago. It's looking like the jig might be up for old Belle. So one day, wouldn't you know it, the farm burns down to the ground, nothing but ashes. And the brother comes back after he hears this and basically demands that we search the property. Like, he just won't take no for an answer. And the cops are like, yeah, because the bodies of Belle and her 3 children were found in the house, all burned to death. It's true. But the body that was wearing Belle's clothes and Belle's wedding ring didn't have a head and was too short. to Bebel, and she was
I was fixing to
definitely
say, was she a big gal?
yeah, and the body was much too underweight to Bebel, so they knew something was going on. They
Right.
search her. They start searching her property. They keep finding these little, indentations where the ground's really soft and depressed. They dig one up, the one in the pig pen, and they find a burlap sack with a set of hands, a set of feet, various internal organs. So now they know something's not right. They dig and dig around her property. They find like 11 other bodies, and then they quote stopped counting. They said eventually she might have done this to upwards of 40 guys. Like she just had
She was a serial killer.
she just had an assembly line. She had the whole thing down pat. And all those years as a farm girl and a butcher, all these men were killed in the way you kill an animal. A livestock animal, a pig or a cow, bashed its head in all of a sudden and then chopped it up. Took their insurance policies.
And her very first husband was a butcher, right?
Yeah. Yes, he was. She worked in both a candy store and as a butcher. I think I mentioned that Tuesday, but I forgot to mention that today. Yeah. So all these bodies are just same thing. Head caved in.
Right. That she had been married. The butcher was her first husband, right?
Well, the butcher was actually they never got married. She didn't actually marry a butcher, but she worked in a butcher shop before the candy store. But I don't think she married a butcher. But she probably did a lot of it on the farm too before she even came to America. I mean, she knew how to kill and dress out a living thing. So
yeah, that's right. She started out working on a farm. That's right.
Yeah.
Before she came to America. Yep.
So blood and guts were nothing to her. It was no big deal. So as the cops are poking around all this, it becomes obvious that this was a fire or an arson. And I mentioned Hilgeson. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Langhorne. He kind of used to help. He would help on the farms in the in-between times. And he would help Belle, if you know what I mean. And I think you do, in the in-between times. They were sort of on again, off again, fuck buddies, I guess. Now
they scratched each other's itch.
Yes, yeah. He comforted her in the months in between husbands.
Yeah.
So now she just looked at it as like he's just a farmhand and he's just a warm body. He had developed feelings for her. So as these husbands are coming and going, he's getting more and more. He's beginning to figure out that she's not going to someday give all this up and marry him. And they'll just live off of all the insurance and all the cash that they've stolen. Because she really would get these guys to sell their house, their farm, whatever they owned. They would show up with cash. And, sometimes later that day, they would be out in the hog pen. But he, over the years, was getting more and more resentful and brokenhearted. And so the cops kind of look into him. He must know something about the arson on the farm. When they go to see him, he's wearing Mad's coat. He's wearing her first husband's big fur overcoat. It's got his name stitched in the back and everything. He's also wearing a watch, which is engraved to somebody else, not him. It's like a nice ass watch that he says Belle gave him, which is probably true. And he just cracks immediately. He starts telling them, I saw this guy's trunk in a little storeroom in her house, and there were about a dozen other trunks. It never occurred to me to look into it. He finally confesses to having burned down the house. He finally confesses to having helped her set up the body that was supposed to be her. And he fills in a lot of blanks for the cops. So I didn't realize that. I thought she had done like maybe 3 or 4, just the names that we know. But she had like an assembly line. Like she had this down pat. She always had a couple of candidates that she was writing back and forth with when the time was right. And she felt that her target was, seasoned up enough. She'd say, sell everything. I can't be without you another day. Sell everything. Come be with me, my love. And they would. And they estimate that she might have been worth close to $1 million in cash in those days.
Oh my God. Back then?
Yeah. That's probably like $30 million or something insane like that. I don't know how to adjust for inflation, but
yeah, that's a lot of money for back then. Yes, we're talking about the late 1800s, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see. By now it's close to the Civil War. We're a few years short of the Civil War. Nobody knows what happened to all the money, but when they went back and started interviewing people, they said one of the things she was really stuck on was she hated men. She absolutely hated men, and she had vowed never to be poor again. She had come to America to make her fortune, and come hell or high water, she was going to do that. And hats off. I guess she accomplished
figured out
the goal.
a way to do it.
Yeah,
didn't she?
So the news about this comes
Blood
out.
Guts didn't bother her none. So
no, not one bit, man. I mean, it's just another animal to her. And I was hoping for. I know that's a horrible thing to say. I was hoping for elements, because she treated these men like livestock. No cannibalism involved. She didn't eat any of them or anything like that. Didn't feed any of them to her kids.
She wanted them to take a dark nap for their money.
Yeah, exactly. You want a forever wife? Yeah, you're gonna stay on the farm forever now, just not the way you think.
Right. And I'm going
the whole thing turns. Oh yeah. So the whole thing turns into a zoo. Like word gets out around town, word gets out in the region. So people are driving and walking over. Everybody wants to see the farm where there's however many bodies buried in the place. Any hope of any evidence, it pretty much gets destroyed immediately. Everybody's just
that was their social media back then. They didn't have social media, so that was their social media back then, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. They couldn't watch
let's go
YouTube
see the
clips
farm where everybody got hacked up at.
Yeah, it's the same way you and I and your audience. It's the same way we watch YouTube clips about the Menendez brothers or Ed Gein or whatever. So any hope of any evidence is just immediately lost. But the cops don't really make too much of an effort. I mean, the whole thing is kind of wrapped up. Whoever Belle Gunness was or whatever she was doing, she's obviously not doing it anymore. Is she dead? Did she run off somewhere? Nobody really makes that much of an effort to figure it out. The one link is this guy Langhorne, her ex-lover, farmhand, jealous, jilted boyfriend. So he always hinted around that he knew everything and he knew more. There was this whole weird situation where a newspaper reporter was assigned by his editor to get the secrets out of Langhorne. And he went to prison to visit him. He did a year for arson. That's the only thing he ever he ever got caught for. He keeps hinting. He writes a series of articles hinting he's like right on the cusp of getting a confession out of this guy and blah blah blah. And I think after Langhorne died, he wrote like a false confession and said that Langhorne had given him this confession and signed it and asked him not to publish it until after his death. He contracted tuberculosis, which was very common back then. He contracted tuberculosis about a year after he got out of prison and died. So this newspaper reporter, he published the confession. It's pretty much immediately debunked. Right away, they figure out that this is complete bullshit. However, a Methodist minister, whose name I can't remember, Langhorne requested that he come see him in prison when he was locked up for the arson. And he said that Langhorne really had confessed to him to cleanse his soul, and he signed it and everything, and asked that the Methodist take it, hold on to it until after he was dead. So he really did do it with somebody. Unfortunately, the minister died before Langhorne. So the confession was locked in his safe. Nobody but him knew the combination.
Oh, shit.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it could be that it's not even true. It could be that he wrote one out, but it's complete bullshit. Or it could be like, all the gory details forever locked in this safe. Nobody really cares about the case anymore. I don't think anybody's going to pay to have the safe like dynamited open or whatever. So, yeah, that was, but the public knew about it. So, of course, more gory details. This thing's in the paper for kind of a while. Now, many, many years later, well, actually, let me go back. Some years later, in 1920, there's an article about a woman, I don't know, it's like maybe a pie baking contest. It was something fairly mundane. But there's a picture of the woman, and a bunch of people saw it and were like, that's Belle Gunness. And they were like ready to testify and everything. They're like, dude, that is Belle Gunness. It was 20 years later, and it was in Los Angeles. But again, nothing really came of it. So we can't say if it was or wasn't Belle. We can only say nobody knows for absolute sure what happened to her. I don't know. Did she take all the money and go to Haiti and live happily ever after? Did she go somewhere else and start the whole process over again and just never got caught? I don't know. Either one is as likely as the other, although I'm I would lean more towards, and Harold Schechter and none of the other crime reporters I read about, they don't seem to think this, but I tend to think she just went somewhere else where nobody knew her and started the whole process over again. She had it down pat. She was very good at it. And, no reason to stop. There was no internet back then. There was barely telephones. And newspapers were...
Yeah, she could have just moved across the country and started all over.
Absolutely. Oh, I remember what it was. The woman was in the newspaper because she tried to poison her husband. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what were they using, arsenic back then or rat poison?
She was using something that was not that obvious. She was using something that made it look like it was like an intestinal like virus, basically. It gave all the symptoms of this really like badass virus that attacked.
That's kind of how antifreeze does you, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
It's real sweet, and then it makes you real sick, though. I mean, you can't really taste it. You can mix it in with like sweet tea, Kool-Aid, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a very, very common form of of unaliving oneself, as they say on YouTube these days. But years and years later, when we're going through her letters, they got a little bit of DNA. I think it was like a couple of strands of hair that fell out while she was writing the letters, or somehow the hair got on there. They compared it with the DNA on the body. They had a sample of tissue sample from the headless body that they found. They compared it. It was kind of inconclusive. It looks like it's not her. I mean, no duh, but the tissue sample was so degraded. It was so old that they were like, yeah, it's like a false positive.
Yeah, it was just inconclusive.
Yeah, a false negative. Like probably, but we can't really say for sure. So her farm is still visited to this day, or at least the area. Yeah, at least the area where it was. People still will take serial killer trips. You see a lot of people on YouTube do that. They go to famous locations.
They do that, or go to their graves and different things like that too.
Yeah. Well, they usually don't have graves. They try to give them a grave and a headstone, but people always like either steal the whole thing or they try to take a chip off of it. Most serial killers are buried somewhere very The only interesting grave I've ever been to, I went to H.P. Lovecraft's grave when I was in Providence one afternoon. And it was
to who?
H.P. Lovecraft. He was a very famous horror writer in the turn of the century. But yeah. Oh, where'd you get that? There you go. Hell's Bell.
Belgonis. Yeah.
Mistress of Murder Farm, Lady Bluebeard, and the my favorite, the Ogress of Indiana. That's pretty mean. But all right, so there you go. There is Belgonis. And next Tuesday, I have a really good one. I'm sure nobody has ever heard of. I will only say we're going to journey to the Far East for this one.
Oh, okay. Out of the country, huh?
Yeah. Out of the hemisphere.
Wow.
It's a really rich vein to explore because we don't usually hear about these things. So there's a whole gold mine of like really bizarre cases in we don't hear much out of China, but in Southeast Asia, Pacific Island area. Australia also has an extremely long and weird history of crime.
I watched something on Australia not too long ago. I can't remember what it was, but they pretty much went around killing pedophiles.
Yeah, that was the Snowtown.
Snowden. Or not Snowden.
No, Snowtown.
Snowtown.
Well,
yeah.
That was their excuse.
Yeah.
The evidence on all that was pretty fucking thin. The cops it seems like that was just their excuse to themselves.
But the youngest one, the teenager that he had helping him, he is in like a unidentified location. Like he's not like they changed his name. Like it was kind of weird. He just kind of disappeared. They just kind of made him disappear. You know what I mean?
So he's in a form of like witness protection.
I don't know if it's witness protection so much as it's just
they just re-identified him.
I don't. They just kind of didn't go as hard on him as they did the main guys. The older one.
Well, he was.
Yeah, but maybe
significantly.
What they will.
He was significantly younger than all of them, wasn't he?
Well, he was the dad dated that boy's mom, so
Right,
he was one of
right,
her
right,
children. Yeah, so yeah, he
right.
was like old enough to be his dad. Yeah,
Oh, that's right. There was all that. Yeah,
yeah,
they were all fucking each other in like
yeah,
really weird
yeah. Like
configurations,
in
and then they would
yeah,
all
like
swap.
the brother had raped him, and the neighbor across the road had molested the brothers. It was all kind of crazy shit.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. That's where a lot of the insane. I'll in the coming weeks. I'll get into a bunch of Australian drug crime if you want, because yeah, some of those small towns
Yeah,
they were mining towns, and they kind of flourished overnight. And then when the company left the town, it just overnight it collapsed. And anybody who stayed there, or a lot of towns in the outback, or a lot of towns on the east coast of Australia, they're kind of just out there like on their own, man. You know, just slowly going fucking crazier and crazier.
I guess so. Going crazy is what I was thinking. They're just damn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I mean, there are areas of Australia that are very, very remote. My brother-in-law is actually Australian. I've known him longer than I've known Joy, and we were talking about Australia one time. He immigrated when he was about 17. Went to medical school. He's a doctor now. But I said, "Oh yeah, his daughter is in Australia now. She has dual citizenship by birth." Because her dad's Australian. So she went there for grad school. She's there now. And I said, yeah, maybe I want to go visit Darcy and see Australia. And I said something effective like, I'd love to take a car and drive out, into the outback and just see the desolation. And he was like, dude, no. He was like, I cannot explain to you how nothing it is. There is just nothing. There's nothing to see. There's usually no reason to live there. Yeah,
That's crazy.
He said it was just, yeah, to have an Australian say, nah, don't do it.
Because a lot of people, that's like one of the places they want to go see,
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I've got buku Australian crime stories that I had never heard of. Because, again, I mean, the world's a very small place now with the internet, but still, when somebody lives that far away, there's shit you're not going to hear about.
Of course.
So, all righty. Well,
Duke, I appreciate you coming back up, and I can't wait till
absolutely.
next week when you spring something on us, because that was a very good one right there.
Yeah, Belle Guinness, man. If you're interested, of course, Harold Schechter is the authority on serial killers. I recommend every single one of his books. He wrote Depraved about Albert Fish. He wrote Demented about Ed Gein, my favorite, best Ed Gein book I've ever read, and I've read a bunch. And he has a new one about Belle Guinness. So if you really want to get into the nitty gritty, Harold Schechter, he's outstanding. After you read a Harold Schechter book, you'll never have to research that person again.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's thorough then. Yeah, he's pretty thorough with everything too then.
He spends years on his book. Yeah. So, all right, y'all. Well, thank you so much. And I will see y'all on Tuesday.
All right, Duke. Adios, partner. I'll talk to you next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Okay. Cheers.
Okay, guys. Anyways, next Tuesday, guys, we'll be in for another mystery from Duke. We're going to the Far East next week, he says. So, I guess we'll call that a night. We got to hear about Belle Guinness, the Hell Farm lady, serial killer, Never had heard of that before, so that was interesting for people that like true crime. And I believe, who did he say? Harold Hector or something for the author. Dadgum, and I should have put it in chat or got one of y'all to put it in chat. So I'll ask him and I'll write it down, because that would probably be some really good books. A really good author to read his books if you like true crime. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody coming and tuning in, and Duke finishing up the part 2 to Belle Gunness, and we'll be back. I don't know. I'll probably be back before next Tuesday, of course. But Duke will be back with us next Tuesday, and then I'll probably see y'all sometime tomorrow or Saturday. But y'all have a great evening. I appreciate each and every one of y'all being here, and later, guys.